Howell. I'm a first grade teacher, and I've been teaching first grade at Woodland Elementary for 17 years, and I've always been first grade. My class is made up of 20 kids. We speak 7 different languages in our classroom, and 7 of my 20 students have 504s or IEPs. We also have a very diverse socioeconomic classroom, and about 40% of our kids come from low-income families. I think it's extremely important that you really hit home about the patterns, which is our standard, but having the kids realize that that pattern is going to repeat over and over and over again, which sounds like a really easy concept, but for 6 and 7 year olds, it's not. And you really have to get them to see that the sun comes up and it makes that arch and it goes down. The moon appears to go up and it comes down. And when we started the stars constellations, they really started to see that, and that kind of was that aha moment for them. So this was that kind of final investigation of pulling it all together of, can you see how those patterns are going to repeat over and over again? It's also really important, I think, to make sure your kids have a clear understanding that it is not the stars moving, it is the earth moving. And even though that's not a huge part of this standard, it's important they have a small amount of background knowledge of just understanding that the earth rotates. And so we used our globe earlier in the unit and things of just showing, like, if this is the sun, how that night and day happens. And when they have that clear understanding, I think then that makes this lesson much stronger for them.
It's in outer space.
It doesn't move.
It doesn't move.
But it appears to.
It appears to.
The pattern
The pattern
repeats over and over and over.
over and over.
Here's that.
Here's
So hands and eyes.
hands and eyes.
So today we're going to be looking at some star patterns, and I wanted to talk about the one that we did yesterday with Alkaid. Does anyone remember what constellation that star was part of? Do you remember? Put in your whisper. Which star pattern?
Big Dipper.
It was part of the Big Dipper. And when we looked at it yesterday, who can remember what kind of pattern did it follow? Well, let's go back to our science books and look. So I need you guys to turn to the page 130 and 131, just like. Okay, so yesterday we read about the pattern Alkaid followed. And right now I want you to put your finger on the top box, the Alkaid, where you find Alkaid. Sophie, can you see it? Okay, now you ready? We're going to go down to the next picture and follow where Alkaid goes. Ready? Go down to the next picture. Tell your partner, where did that star move? Turn to your partner and tell him where that star moved. Where?
It moved
and Munas are actually tracing the pattern that the star was moving. Now, here's my question for you that's going to stump you a little bit. Was the star actually moving?
No.
Give me a thumbs up if you think it was moving, or a thumbs down if you think it wasn't. Was the star actually moving? Give me an not sure. Guess what? Mirror with words.
Mirror with words.
The star.
The star.
Alkaid.
Alkaid.
Wasn't moving. Wasn't moving. The Earth. The Earth was rotating.
Was rotating.
It makes it look.
It makes it look
Like it's moving.
like it's moving.
Is it moving?
Is it moving?
No.
No.
So, yesterday we talked about how that pattern followed what shape? What is it, Tyler? I want you to take a look at that picture again, and I want you to find LK. And in the second picture, it appears to move where in the sky? Up. And then later in the night, it appears to move down. So Carson, when we're later in the night, where does it look like it is? Is it high in the sky, Carson, or is it down lower?
Down lower.
It's down lower. So today we're going to do an investigation about a different constellation, not the Big Dipper.
Little bit.
Tell a partner any constellation you know.
The little Dipper, the Scorpion is Orion.
Guess what? I didn't hear one person say the constellation we're going to study. So I am excited to introduce you to a brand new constellation. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to close up your book. So today we're actually going to be using this really cool wheel. Ooh. Now my wheel actually follows Carolina the night sky. So right on, I need everyone to hold up their left hand. Do you see there's a red dot? I'm going to put my thumb on the red dot. And my red dot has to stay on the bottom. And we're actually going to move our wheel so we can investigate what some different star patterns are going to do. Now, let me move this in a little closer so you guys can see a little better. So we're actually going to look at 3 of them. Delana, we're going to look at Cepheus, Little Dipper, and the Big Dipper. And the Big Dipper we did a little bit before. Okay? So, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you guys the wheels and we're going to investigate them first. We're just going to look at them. And I'm going to give you, let's say, 20 seconds to look together at them. And then we're going to have to start making our own investigation and predictions. Okay? So if you're on the back carpet, I need you to go to your base, please. You can leave your book right there. Middle carpet, please go to your base. Leave your book right there.
I definitely think it helps to color code things. There is a lot of different star patterns, and for my students, just to meet their needs better, I color coded because then we can use that star map for multiple lessons. So Big Dipper was pink, North Star was listed as yellow, and then Cepheus was blue. That also helped eliminate some of the confusion which pattern they were supposed to be looking for. I also think it helps to make the back spinner either out of cardstock or with a different color, so that way it's another visual cue. Because of the needs in my classroom, I do try to get a lot of different visual cues. Another thing I prepped was I just made extra copies of the star map so I could cut it out for a couple of my students who needed something to physically touch and manipulate because they would have had trouble with coloring or drawing out those maps. So